I made the call. Last Tuesday, I sat on this porch and I picked up the phone and I called Will. My hand was shaking. I am 89 years old. My hand was shaking. I want to tell you what happened, not to make you feel a certain way, just to tell you what is true. Because I said at the end of the last video that I would make the call before I ran out of time. And I am a nurse. I know how fast time runs out. So I made the call. But first, I want to tell you something about Will, who he is, not the distance between us, him. Because I have talked about the distance in the last 2 episodes, and I have not talked about the person the distance is from, and that is not right. Will is 56 years old. He is a civil engineer. He has been in Denver for 28 years. He has a daughter named Clara. She is 22. I have met Clara 4 times. 4 times in 22 years. That is what the distance costs. Not just Will, Clara too. A granddaughter I barely know, because her father and I could not find our way back to each other. Will was a quiet child, the way Robert was quiet, listening, watching. He drew things, pictures, buildings, bridges. Even as a little boy is less than #0. 6# is greater than. He drew things with structure. He became an engineer the way children become what they always were. I did not see that clearly enough. When he was young, I was too busy seeing what I needed him to be. He needed softness from me. I said that in the last video, and it is true. But I want to be more specific today, because softness is a vague word. What Will needed specifically was this. He needed me to be wrong sometimes, and say so. He needed me to not always know better. He needed me to sit with his feelings instead of immediately solving them. I was a nurse. Solving is what nurses do. Someone hurts, you fix it. Someone cries, you find the cause. Will did not need fixing. He needed witnessing, and I did not know the difference until it was too late to matter. There was a specific evening, 1987. Will was 19. Home from his first year of college. He had failed a class. And he came to me. He sat at the kitchen table and he told me, and I could see it cost him something to come to me with it. He was 19 years old and he chose to come to his mother. And I told him what he should have done differently. For 15 minutes, I told him what he should have done differently. I did not ask him how he felt. I did not sit with him in it. I fixed it. Or I tried to. He never came to me like that again. I have been thinking about that kitchen table for 37 years. One evening, 15 minutes, and something shifted that I did not notice shifting until years later when the distance had already set. Is there someone listening to this who knows exactly what I mean? A moment that cost more than you knew while it was happening, a door that closed quietly while you were looking the other way. Those moments are not always dramatic. That is the thing. They are almost never dramatic. They are a Tuesday evening at a kitchen table, 15 minutes of the wrong kind of help, and then years of wondering what went wrong. I sat on this porch last Tuesday for a long time before I dialed. An hour at least, maybe more. I kept picking the phone up and putting it down. At 89 years old, picking up a phone and putting it down like a teenager, because the fear does not care how old you are. The fear of rejection does not shrink just because you have seen more of life. If anything, it is larger, because at 89, you know exactly what is at stake. You know, this might be the last chance, and that makes the hand shake. I thought about what I was going to say for 3 days before I called. I am going to tell you what I planned, and then I am going to tell you what I actually said, because they were not the same thing. They never are. What I planned to say was this: Will, I know things have been distant between us. I know I was not always the mother you needed. I know there are things I did that I should have done differently. And I want you to know that I understand now what I did not understand then. Prepared, organized, structured, a nurse's apology, a speech. What I actually said was, Will, it is your mother. I miss you. That is all that came out. I miss you. 3 words. After 3 days of preparation, there was a silence on the line, long enough that I thought he might hang up. And I sat very still, the way I used to sit at a patient's bedside, just present, not fixing, just there. It only took me 67 years to learn to do that with my own son. And then he said, I miss you too, Mom. We talked for an hour and 40 minutes. I know because I looked at the clock when we hung up. I cannot tell you everything we said. Some of it is ours. Some of it needs to stay between us. But I can tell you this. He told me about Clara, what she is doing now, her life, and he told me about his work, a bridge he designed in Colorado. He was proud of it. I could hear it in his voice, the same pride he had at 6 years old, holding a drawing. And this time, I asked about it. I asked what the bridge was like, where it crossed, how long it took. I stayed for the answer. He is coming to Asheville in the spring. He is bringing Clara. I am going to meet my granddaughter properly. For the first time in years, I am 89 years old. I do not know how many springs I have, but I have this one, and he is coming. I want to say something to anyone listening who has a call like that. A person the distance with has gone on longer than it should. A relationship that went quiet over something that felt large at the time and might feel smaller now. From the other side of all those years, I want to tell you what I know. As a nurse, as a mother, as an 89-year-old woman sitting on a porch in Asheville, the call is not going to go the way you planned it. The speech you have prepared will not come out right. You will say something smaller and more true than anything you rehearsed. And that smaller, truer thing is exactly what they need to hear. Not your prepared version, the real one, the one that comes out when the fear makes your hand shake and you dial anyway. I miss you. 3 words. An hour and 40 minutes. A bridge in Colorado. A granddaughter coming in the spring. All of that from 3 words I almost did not say. Pick up the phone. Not when you have the right words. Not when you know how it will go. Not when the time feels right. Today, while the number is still there to dial, while there is still someone on the other end to answer, let your hand shake. Say the small true thing, then stay for the answer. Will is coming in the spring. I am going to be here.